Short hair.
I like women.
I fit the feminine stereotype because I'm very feminine, I'm out there, I like makeup, I like to play with makeup. I'm very flashy, but I'm also kind of quiet. And I'm a theater geek and a band geek, so.
Typically girls that try to dress more masculine.
I think the ways I do fit them, I'm very sassy, and when someone brings up a topic about something, I will always out-sass them, or try to at least. And so I guess that's kind of like a stereotypical thing to do, is just be really sassy and talk with my hands and move my head and stuff like that.
When I was a little kid, I was not I like monster trucks and toy cars and action figures. No, I played with dolls. I styled their hair. I made clothes for them. I learned how to sew.
I don't know, I'm really, really feminine. I love sparkles.
I remember one time a guy asked me, oh, well, if you like all genders, or because I said pan means all, he said, oh, well, you like everyone and you like everything. He's like, you're attracted to me and you're attracted to that person. I'm like, no, that's not what it means. And a lot of people actually think it means attracted to animals and inanimate objects, which is really disturbing because that's not what it is at all. It just means all genders. And so that's a couple stereotypes I've ran across. It's also a lot of people think when they go into a relationship with a bisexual or pansexual person that they are more likely to cheat and they're more likely to look at other people and stuff like that. But in reality, just like everyone else, whenever we get into a relationship, we're not going to be looking at every other girl because we want a girl as well. It's not like that.
I've heard a lot about bisexuals being kind of like pansexuals, how they'll basically just screw anyone. I found that to be kind of ridiculous, personally, but people do their own thing, I guess.
Short hair, and for the long, I was afraid to be a lesbian kind of because I thought that meant that I had to chop all my hair off.
I feel like there were sure signs of me because I would play dress up with my sisters. I'd play with Polly Pockets and Barbies, and I would always want to wear a pink tutu. And so I feel like there were signs.
Honestly, I feel like since it came out so long ago, everyone just knows already. So I feel like when I cut my hair, no one was surprised. I feel like that's the only one I really fit.
And as a couple, I feel like we break that stereotype of one person being the boy in the relationship and one being the girl in the relationship.
Neither of us are masculine, and I'm not necessarily attracted to the masculine looking girls.
I guess I'm not the kind of guy that likes to be oh yeah, I see every man and I want to be with them. That's a big stereotype that's very wrong, and I don't fit that.
I don't go around just looking at guys oh, I want to have sex with them. I think they're hot, straight or not. Or, oh yeah, I can totally turn them. That's how I don't fit the stereotype. And I do kind of find it annoying when gay guys do that because it kind of makes us look bad.
That's kind of one thing that people will tell me a lot is, well, you don't look gay.
No, I don't. I think that sometimes it does come up in conversation where I am oh yeah, no, I know that girl, or that girl's cute or something like that. It does eventually come up, but it's not something I say right away. I'm not hi, I'm Anna and I'm gay. I don't say that. I kind of just talk about other things because I'm more than a sexuality.
It is not.
No.
To me, my sexuality is such a small part of who I am. I mean, yes, it defines my love life, it defines who I'm with, but it doesn't define you. What I like to do for fun, or my intelligence, or my skills, my capabilities. It's just another thing. People don't go out and say, well, hi, my name's Sadie and I'm straight. I don't know, it's just something that kind of people either ask about or they find out through either seeing us together or on social media. I don't necessarily feel like I've ever had to come out immediately.
I don't either. Honestly, it doesn't define me.
I'm a person as anyone else. You don't go up and talk to someone, oh, hey, I'm straight.
No, it's there, but like as I get to know people, that's when they figure it out, and that's when I'll tell them. They're like, hey, yeah.
I think some people, definitely if they feel the need to identify themselves by their sexuality, I think that's really cool if they would like to do that. I think it's awesome that we now live in a society that's okay to do that. And I definitely think, especially now coming out of, the pre-Stonewall, era that we were sort of in, I think that's awesome that they're doing that. I think that's perfectly fine. However, what I would really like to see, I think, as we move into the future and sexuality becomes, I think, much more of just sort of a everyday sort of a thing. What I would really like to see one day is people not necessarily having to necessarily identify using their sexualities, but sexuality just being a thing in general, and you don't have to fit into some strict box. You can be what you want to be, you can like who you want to like, and you don't necessarily need to have a word to identify with it. But I think it's awesome to have that word, have those things now, because I think coming out of what had been previously there, I think it's a step that needs to be taken.
I am a person. Just don't define me by my sexuality. Like, just introduce me by my name.
I honestly, like, for the first couple months of like when I was actually out, I thought it was necessary, but now that I think of it, I don't think it's necessary for me to like go up to people and be like, hi, my name is Aaron and I'm gay. Like, my sexuality doesn't define who I am as a person. It doesn't define my personality. It doesn't define like my skills or anything like that. It's a part of me, but it's not the main thing that's a part of me. And like, if anyone is questioning and if they ask me, I will answer yes, I am. And if they have any like discrepancies about it, I will just confirm them and tell them, yeah, I am. So it's just, it's not like, it doesn't define who I am. And that's the thing that I've like been coming to like terms with, is like, yes, I'm gay, but it's not, it doesn't define who I am as a person.
It's happened to me once at a party, and I was just looking at them like, excuse me, like, are you trying to hook me up with someone? Like, what's going on? And they're like, no, I'm just introducing you. I'm all like, well, you can just introduce me by my name.
Not really. I find it more of if it comes up in a conversation specifically, then I'll say it, but besides that, they don't really need to know.
No. If they're my friends, they wouldn't really care.
Not at all.
No, it's not.
They just kind of see it as normal, and I'm just lucky to have friends like that, I suppose.
Yeah, dad prefers to avoid it, and mom doesn't really care.
I think it's kind of awkward because it's just like, especially with the stigma that lesbians have and stuff, because a lot of people over-sexualize lesbians, and a lot of people think, oh, well, like, girls kissing girls, it's so hot. Like, I think that's why it might become awkward. And it's also awkward explaining to people who are still coming to terms with transgender people, about like agender, like all this other genders that there are, and explaining to them those are indeed genders and there are people like that and I'm attracted to them. And that's just kind of, it's not really awkward, it's more of a hard to explain and hard to understand.
Probably after I realized that I was staring too much at girls.
I remember when I was about 9 years old, 8 or 9, it was around 4th grade. I saw that girl in Disney World, And before that, I hadn't really had my first crush yet. And I was kind of waiting for it because all my friends were going through it. And so when that happened, I felt extremely guilty. And so I knew I liked women from about age 9. I really realized I was strictly homosexual when I started kind of trying to date women and be with women and figure it all out like that. Because then I realized that I have a much stronger connection with women than I do men. And it's not that I don't love my guy friends, but it's just...
You don't love them that
I
way.
don't- yeah, I love them, I'm just not in love with them.
When I broke up with my girlfriend.
I think I realized first when I realized I didn't just like guys, was I just kind of like enjoyed girls as well. But I also, with a lot of positivity movements stemming out of people who are agender, I found myself attracted to them as well. And I met a couple people that were agender, and I definitely thought to myself I could date someone who's like this. And I eventually came to the conclusion that gender doesn't matter for me, and I don't think I would ever, if I truly like loved someone, I would ever decipher because of their gender that I didn't love them.